All right, Pokemon Emerald fans, what we're going to do today is go over how to beat Watson in Pokemon Emerald, and we're going to do it the easy way in case you did not choose Swampert as your starter. And I'm at the beginning of the game, so this is going to be a long form video, so get ready to strap in. I'm going to take you from beginning all the way to Watson, and I'm going to explain some things while I'm going through the story to show you how the company made the game easier for you to get through if you understood certain parts of it. And the reason I decided to make this video is because there are a bunch of things I didn't understand about playing Pokemon Emerald when I played it as a child. And now that I'm an adult, I can understand a lot more of how they set the game up for you to be able to get through it easy. And once you see what I'm going to show you in the video, you'll realize that Watson was never actually hard to get through. It's just there were certain things that we couldn't pay attention to. We didn't have either internet to look up certain information, all that stuff. But even without the internet, um, this would be something that you could have found out because they put things into the game to make it a little bit easier. So we're gonna go ahead and strap in here and get started. Of course, I have not chosen a starter yet. I just went inside my room. Oh yeah, I'm supposed to go. So first things first, if you remember playing the game, you go in here, you talk to the rival's mother, and then she says that May or whatever the chick's supposed to be upstairs, and when you try to touch her Pokeball, then she comes up there and she's talking to you. But yeah, if I sound like I'm out of breath a little bit, I kind of am. I ran up the steps. I live where there are steps, and kind of ran up the steps to go ahead and get started for this video. I was so excited. But anyway, so now we can go ahead and choose. We're going to go ahead and choose our starter here. And we're going to choose one starter that is very weak against Watson. Actually, no, I'm going to show you some cooler stuff here. Instead, not cooler, but yeah, we're going to choose short Torchic because I'm going to show you how to get past the first gym as well without choosing the easy starters. So it's kind of like a double whammy, or I could separate it into two different videos. But Torchic is the hardest starter to beat the first gym if you were going to use the starter to beat the gym. Both the grass and water have a strong advantage against the first gym because it is a rock type. So neither one of those starters would have any trouble just sweeping through the entire gym on their own. But since we have Torchic, we're going to have to catch another Pokemon. And I'm going to show you there's many different options for Pokemon you could catch in the beginning to make the first gym easy too. I'm going to show you how to make the second gym easy, and then I'm going to show you how to make the Watson gym battle easy. All of that. So I think the mother is supposed to, was she supposed to come out here and talk to me? Give me my running shoes, I think. Uh, I can't remember. But yeah, I'm going to show you how to make all those gems as easy as possible. And granted, this was I thought Watson was hard. When I came back and just played this game randomly, like 2 weeks ago, I was like, man, why is Watson hard? I don't remember this when I was a kid. I don't remember Watson being this hard. And so I went back through the game, took my time, and thought about where did they put. I'm missing something. They didn't intend for it to be this hard. It's something I'm missing. And I went back, like I said, I didn't look up anything on the internet except for the fact that was other people thinking that Watson was hard. So then I found all these videos explaining some of the hardest gym leaders in all of Pokemon games, and a few people did mention how Watson was very hard in Emerald. They did mention Norman is hard in this game. Some people said Tate and Eliza. I saw another video talking about the second gym was hard, which was surprising. And it just goes to show you that the older Pokemon games in general just had higher level of difficulty to them. They didn't have the experience share feature that every single Pokemon in the party got the experience, which is a good and a bad thing. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and hurry home. And like I said, just the fact that I got to Watson and I'm like, whoa, why can't I literally could not get past Watson with the team I was going through the game with. I just somehow was not prepared. I would to fight the steel electric typing. Everything was moving faster than my Pokemon. I had the grass starter, so my grass starter wouldn't do anything against electric on it, obviously. So made me go back through the game and I was like, let me find out what did they intend for us to do to make this easy. And then when I figured it out, I was like, wow. You're basically, by the time we get to Watson, you're just going to be able to one shot every. Yeah, you should be able to. I hope I'm not lying on that part. We should be able to one shot every single Pokemon that we fight at Watson's gym with this method. It's not cheating or anything. I'm just playing the game straight up. But first thing we're gonna do is gonna catch a few Pokemon that are gonna be useful. So well, we'll catch the Lotad. The Lotad is actually, yeah, your Lotad here is going to be your first useful Pokemon that you will need to run through first gym, just because it's grass water type. There is an alternative to catching Lotad, however. We'll see if we find that alternative. Is because you could get the Nuzleaf. That would be the secondary option, is getting the Nuzleaf and training it up. But so we're gonna get Lotad. That's the first step. Hopefully I don't wipe out here trying to show y'all stuff. We're gonna go ahead and switch right into the Lotad because we need to get his experience up because having he only comes with Astonish and that does no damage at all. We may be able to teach a Bullet Seed. I can't remember, but I think we could teach a Bullet Seed too. And you're gonna get that TM in just a moment. But we'll go ahead and get through these trainers that take us into the next city where we're gonna meet Norman, our dad. Then he's gonna say, you know, son, I can't fight you. You're not strong yet. And I'm strong. And that makes sense because this Pokemon definitely outlevel us, so wouldn't make sense for us to be facing off against him. Alright, so he's got a Wurmple. Um this Astonish. This could take a long time to get through the. Okay, a critical hit there. Oh yeah, see this is just terrible. Um so Lotad, he has very low attack stat in the beginning, but he has an Astonish move that doesn't do any damage at all. So in the beginning, you kind of gotta level him up this way, so that way you could at least get his water gun on board, which I can't remember. It could be level 5 or level 6. And so we're gonna run back. Okay, I forgot I got the run now. We're gonna run back, heal up again. So yeah, this is a lot, I know. Like I said, there is an opportunity you could get the Nuzleaf, and that would be from you catching a Ralts in this area here. Um, from what I've seen, the Ralts appears more likely in these tiles up here, or that grass that's up there. That's where I've seen Ralts appear more often. But maybe we're not going to just stick around and try to get it. I just was messing around with a few spawns just to see if it would spawn the Ralts. Um, you could choose to level it up before you trade and all that stuff. But mostly you can just go through these trainers and you can switch into your starter to handle them if you want because Lotad's not really going to be able to fight unfortunately. Or you can try grinding the wild Pokemon in this area and hitting them with Astonish so that your Lotad gets all of the experience. That is another option. I just feel like sometimes it can feel so slow and really we're trying to get through the beginning part as quickly as possible. And honestly, let's check the berry. The Oran berries give you a little bit of health in case we need it. Oops, I jumped in here. All right. So Lotad's almost at 5. And so I can't remember. He might learn Water Gun at 5 or 6. And like I said, your options are if you don't catch, if you start off with the fire, okay, we can't even use a ghost type attack against the Zigzagoons. But if you start off with Torchic, then yeah, you are going to have to catch another Pokemon to make the first gym easier, and that's okay. Um, Here we go. We got Shroomish, and this has a Spore that can give you all kinds of effects. So it's gonna suck if it does hit us with a Spore on this last contact move. So anyway, yeah, your starters still get some love in the beginning, even though you're really trying to focus more on the Lotad more than anything. All right. And so you could beat this one because you know you're going to be able to defeat a level 3. And it flinch, and because we're faster than it, and so Astonish allows us to flinch them. Oh, there's still no water gun at 6. That's rough. They were mean to Lotad in this game. All right, we're gonna heal up one more time. We'll talk to a few people in the town, and you're gonna get a chance to speak to Wally, who is he's gonna say something about showing you around, teach you how to catch a Pokemon, and that's unfortunate that you got to go through all of this. But yeah, we'll talk to Norman. You'll see what he says. So he said he'll be looking forward to it, and then our dad's talking to Wally, and then he gives him a Zigzagoon, basically gets him to go on his Pokemon journey. And for some reason, I guess because this is tutorial, we already had time to catch Pokemon, but they stop right here to teach you how to catch Pokemon. And I would like to catch a Ralts just because. All right, one second. I was looking at something on my phone, but here we go. So yeah, I would like to catch a Ralts, but I don't really want to sit here and grind on this video. Maybe if I was playing by myself and wasn't doing a recording or something like that, or if I was doing something longer like a live stream, maybe I would have done something like that. Since with this video, I want to just kind of keep moving forward as straightforward as possible. Just maybe, hopefully, it keeps you entertained just a little bit, even though this video could be edited to go a lot faster. But I do want you to be able to hear all the different tidbits that I'm talking about in between because you just never know. Some of this might be interesting to you too, or you may actually enjoy just listening to me talk about the game while I play it. So I can't remember if this guy lets us battle him or not. I think so. All right, and like the only thing we're really looking for here is to get this water gun up and running. So still can't yet. Maybe it's level 7. So hard to remember because I don't always go to Lotad route. There are many different options in the game. That's the beauty of how they built it. Is not every person's gonna have to do a certain thing to get through it, but there are certain Pokemon that will make it optimal, and they give you plenty of different. They give you a few, not plenty. They give you a few different choices to make that happen. The Seedot is one option. Okay, so we got the Ember, which is good. Um, so fought that trainer, and then we're gonna get another trainer here. It's gonna, I think he just has Magikarp. So we'll let our Lotad try to handle this. I think Magikarp has good defense though. Yeah, so that's gonna be a long time hitting Astonish. And yeah, I'd rather share the XP just so we can move forward. Especially with something like the Magikarp having a good defensive stat against that. Alright, so we got Absorb. That's what I meant, not Water Gun. But Absorb, which is our grass type move. So before we move on, we do need to catch a flying type, and here I prefer to catch the Swallow or Swap, whatever the thing's called. Um, Now that we got our Absorb, we don't need to use Lotad anymore. Yeah, Tailo. So this is the perfect Pokemon that I prefer to catch as a flying type early on. And I'm going to show you why in just a second. We're going to actually use this flying type immediately once we catch it. This is to prepare you for the second gym, believe it or not. That's why they give you a bird per Pokemon in the beginning, is because this is one of the Pokemon games where you fight the fighting type gym leader early in the game. And a lot of other Pokemon games, you fight fighting type gym leaders later in the game when they have stronger Pokemon and stronger evolutions. But this is one exception. Here is Pokemon Emerald. They do not do that. So, oh, we're gonna go ahead and go for another battle, and we're just gonna lead with the Torchic on this one, and from here we will switch into the Tailo because the Tailo is going to get us through this next part. We have a forest area here, and in the forest area, there's nothing but bug Pokemon mostly. So since Tailo, the reason Tailo is the best bird Pokemon to start out with, in my opinion, is because you don't have to level it at all for it to learn a flying move. It comes with Peck, so it's automatically going to hit with super effective moves out of the gate inside this bug area. So that's better than if you got the other bird that's available in the beginning, which is the Wingull. You're gonna have to wait a little bit before it gets a move that can actually that's a flying attack. And so you just want to have it where you're wasting as little time as possible or leveling as efficiently as possible. And we'll fight this wild Pokemon because we know Cascoon does not hit back. So we just went ahead and just take that. There's a potion hidden in that square there. Um, we won't fight the pit pooch hyenas, and that's actually a good Pokemon to get in the beginning as well because you will need that for the seventh gym. Yeah, yeah, you will need a good strong dark type Pokemon for the seventh gym. And so that's one of the reasons they give you that dark type early so that you can work on leveling it up by the time you get to the seventh gym. But there are other ways to get dark types leveled up before then, so that's the reason I'm not going to use that now. I'm only focusing on these first three gems at least, and the fourth gem is very easy to figure out, and fifth gem will be easy to figure out as well. There's a few different options we have for all of those, and I'll talk about them as we get to them. This playthrough or this video may or may not even go that far. If so, I may break it up into different parts because I know the title is going to be about beating Watson easily, and I may stop it there because that's just what makes sense. But as you can see here with the Tailo, we're basically wiping through everything in the forest with ease, and that's the whole point is you're preparing the Tailo for the second gym battle just by going through this forest. So you're gonna take as much free XP as you need to just walk through. Do you have to sit here and grind levels? No, you don't. You notice I haven't really been grinding them. I'm trying to just get through the forest, picking up some items here and there, and then I got to do a fight, and I just pack them all to death. So that's why you really want Tailo before you go into the Petalburg Woods. And so we're gonna leave him in front for now because our what I was gonna say our Lotad doesn't have to be too high level to beat this first gym, and we're gonna give Lotad a little bit more shine as soon as we get out of this area. So so everything's gonna be good here in just a second. We fight the Team Aqua Grunt, and then pushes us back. All right, Great Ball, and then we're almost done with the forest. Pokemon doing okay. Okay. And so you're gonna find another bug catcher. Like I said, almost every Pokemon in this forest here is gonna be a bug. And as you can see, the Tailo is already higher level than my starter. Because what was my starter is like level 10, 9. And you just because you're getting such easy XP just pushing pick one-shotting everything at the very beginning of the game. So you don't have to sit there and grind levels. You don't have to put in a whole bunch of work. This Slack Off would be cool to catch. This is not a common Pokemon that shows up in the beginning of the game, but I don't really choose to stay there and deal with um, that Pokemon because I'm probably not gonna level up. All right, so you can come here, so you can get some berries. I mean, not necessarily the berries, but to get the water pail in case you want to go ahead and take berries off trees and then you want to replant some and then water them to make sure they come back at a decent time. That's what that is for. And here we're gonna pick up a potion. You may or may not need it. Sometimes I pick up the berries too. And this was a misplay right here. I meant to go ahead and switch back over to the Lotad before I got here. Um, but we'll go ahead and knock out the Zigzagoon. And then we'll go ahead and switch over to the Lotad because we want the Lotad to get just a little bit more experience before we go to the gym. The Tailo did what it needed to do. It fought in the Petalburg forest, is what they called it. It fought inside there, Petalburg Woods. So we're gonna go ahead and astonish, see if we're faster. We are faster, and we'll just keep astonishing. He lowered my attack. That's gonna be annoying. And then we get the flinch because, like I said, we move faster, so we get an opportunity to flinch the other character whenever we hit them with Astonish and we're going faster than them. Alright, cool. So that's level 8. And so here we got Shroomish, and you're going to go ahead and change it to your Taylor, or you can go into Fire from here. It's a little risky just sending Taylor in here with low health, but I didn't feel like I feel like he was going to do a drain move, and that's not going to really do much against Taylor anyway. So I just risked it and sent him in. And then you got these little twins, which here, you want to use your, well, flying really does well against both here, but we'll just try to keep the Lotad astonished for right now. Let's see if the astonish works. And we got the flinch, so yeah, that was just something to keep him pinned down till Taylor can come over and just peck him on the head. Cool. And then alright, so we got Lotad moving up in level there. Makes him level 9. Alright, once we get into the town, if you did get the routes, then you could trade it in the city. Or first thing you want to do is come here and get your cut HM. So that way you don't have to backtrack after you beat the gym. So you can't use cut outside of battle right now. We do have to defeat the first gym to be ordered to do that. So we're gonna heal up from the Pokemon Center and then go directly into the first gym battle. And so you notice I didn't spend a lot of time just grinding and nothing like that. You don't really have to. There is a place. Oh, if you want to make your first gym a little bit safer, depending on how you feel, you come here. You can get the Quick Claw by talking to the instructor here, and then he runs around, comes back. He gives you the Quick Claw, and you could go ahead if you're not sure. You can go ahead and place your Quick Claw on your main Pokemon that you would use for the battle. Oops. So yeah, we're gonna give Lotad the Quick Claw, and then we're gonna come up here, and we're gonna face off against the gym leader. Okay, of course, we're gonna have to go through the trainer battles, and I'll just run straight into it on that because it doesn't really matter to me. All right, so he sent out Geodude, and then like you're just gonna absorb everything here. And this will keep you healed up too, so that way you don't have to use any of your potions on this first boss. And so that's the reason there. They give you the Lotad because Lotad will learn Absorb, which Absorb will get you through every single Pokemon in this gym. And that therefore that makes the game easier in the beginning. They made sure that the first gym is weak to multiple types that you get. Alright, so we'll just go ahead and growl, lower both of their attacks. So if you didn't know that, that is a good doubles move. It does lower the attack of both Pokemon, but now we're just gonna absorb the other Geodude and then quick attack the one that has the small amount of health. And the other Geodude could faint from this. It just depends. Not all Geodudes have the exact same stats. He does Defense Curl. So now what we're gonna do is absorb this Geodude and quick attack that Geodude. Alright. So Lotad is at level 11. And yep, we absorb. We got the full hit on that one, probably because we went to level 11 in between. Um, I'll go ahead and growl, keep his attack down to stop him from doing any damage in case he did land an attack on us. As you see, he's not faster than our level 13s, and boom, this is all you really needed. You just needed, you really just needed your bird Pokemon to be at level 13 before you made it to the second gym. So we don't really have to put in a whole lot more work with Tailo, to be honest, all the way until we get to the second gym. But we are going to level him up even more, um, just because that's the way I'm going to show you the way I go through the game now whenever I play. So yeah, we got Gym Leader here, and you're sitting here with your Lotad without power leveling or anything. You're at level 11 at the start. So you could have pushed it a little bit to get more experience, so you'd be at 12 by the time you got here. And so he gives a potion, which is good. That gives us more health to heal off of. So works out perfect. Astonish, good thing it does knock out. And now we're at level 12, and we get this knockout as well. Okay, good. We're healing off of that. So Lotad's a good choice. But usually, like I would check to see if I can get the Nuzleaf. Nuzleaf levels up even faster than the average Pokemon because it's a traded one. And so, look, we end up on level 13, and then we got the Nose Pass. So Nose Pass here can take a hit. So he's a little bit different. Yeah, Nose Pass a little bit different, and he's got it everything blocked where we can't escape. And the unfortunate thing is he can heal up as well, or he might do that. That's what a lot of nose passes do. He's looking very defensive right now. Like, is he gonna knock me out? Yeah, he actually knocked me out there, which that's actually never happened before, but it's whatever. Yeah, super effective against rock and then super effective against this. So, yeah, this is like the one time that he actually knocked me out. That's never happened before. The Lotad just didn't have enough damage. So I know this is a how to win easy thing. Um, but as you can see, it just didn't work out. Sometimes you get RNG that doesn't help. So maybe we could have leveled the Lotad just a little bit more. And I had a chance to heal too. I just didn't think the rock attack was gonna actually knock me out for real. So that was interesting there. So here we go. We'll just go through it again real quick, which it'll give us some more levels. And he did lower our speed. I hope that doesn't affect us too much here. There's two rock tombs on us. Um, that could affect us against the nose pass, but we'll see. I forgot what the nature power does. To be honest, I very rarely use that move. So we're at level 14 this time fighting the nose pass. I guess if you wanted to power level your your Lotad, you could have had it one level higher, like I said, which would obviously allow you to do more damage. So yeah, he was got Oranberry, and so unfortunately, yeah, I'm gonna have to heal just because he's doing about half damage right now with the Rock Tombs, and that's unfortunate. Yeah, that sucks. I've never been in this position with Lotad before, and he's got my speed lower, so he's gonna keep hitting me first too. He misses an attack, which is good, good RNG. And yeah, we got a chance to hit if he doesn't heal. So yeah, that's the first gem. It was actually anything but easy if you were looking at it there, it made it look like it was not easy at all. But you get the idea. Um, so another tip here is that what you can see here is if you would have grinded the levels a little bit more and got low tat to 15, you would have more defense to fight off the first gym leader. So that's totally up to you if you want to take it like one level higher, get it to 15 before you fight there. You would see there that yeah, you had an opportunity to actually have involved Pokemon before the first gym battle. But I chose not to wait. You saw it wasn't 100% required. Those potions did come in handy. And also it could depend on your Pokemon stats as well. Like this Lombre could have bad defense stats. Oh well, yeah, it depends on the nature of your Pokemon. Brave nature. So yeah, I'm not really sure. Um but yeah, so after you beat the first gym, what do you do now is just switch into the Talo. And then if you want, you can give the Talo the quick claw, but he doesn't have problem with speed usually. So if you want to give him something like an Oran Berry, heal up a little bit in battle, that would be good too. We'll go ahead and replenish our potions. Since we use two potions, we'll buy three, and then we use two Pokeballs, so we'll buy three. There's no super potions, but we'll buy three just because. We'll leave the rest out for right now. So now we're preparing for the second gym. We're gonna go up here, and then I think there's an item that we can get, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, so there's your super potion there if you wanted one. And then your Pokemon are gonna start getting more HP and evolving. So Lotad's not gonna be the only one that gets this evolution early on in the game. You just really when you focus the number of Pokemon that you work on and not spread yourself out too thin in the beginning, that is just literally a general rule that's going to help you level your Pokemon. And I think Pokemon in general wanted to avoid that over time, so they started adding it, making it more flexible where you can give the whole team experience and it allows you to play with more Pokemon than just a certain few throughout the entire story. However, I still find that it is the most efficient way, in my opinion, because you're sticking with the Pokemon that have literally gained the most experience this entire time you've been playing. And that makes a difference, especially if they've been fighting wild Pokemon too. And they were getting those EV points. So now Talo is at 14. And yeah, you just use Talo to get through all of this. A lot of the trainer battles are actually geared towards using a fighting type. I mean a flying type, so it's like they basically planned it that if you had transitioned to your flying type, or they would get you to use your flying type so you can get your flying type Pokemon to gain the experience it needs to get through that second gym. So it's actually setting you up the entire time with the way they select these fighters. So the double battle here is like use the flying type that you're going to need for your next gym, plus use the grass or water type that you use for the first gym. They're actually setting it up based on the Pokemon they've given you. They wanted to make sure you should be able to super effectively hit all the Pokemon they're giving you. And this is with me only catching two Pokemon, I'm able to super effectively hit everything that they're giving me. So you can see how they program some things in the game where it could be easy. It could be. It's just like, how would you know to do some of this? How did you know that this would be the perfect way to get through it? And so I'm poisoned, and that is terrible. I got to remember to teach my Pokemon Cut while I'm over here as well. And so there's the Geodude. They want you to switch, obviously, into the same Pokemon you used to beat the first gym at this point. So that's why they give you the Geodude, because they know that you have something to deal with it already. And now Talo has gone up to level 15. Looks like Lombre is going to go up to level 16 after this fight. Alright, he's at level 16, so he's leveling pretty fast. Let's make sure we get cut on our Pokemon, and unfortunately you might have to put this on your starter. Yeah, this is what happens sometimes when you only start with just these Pokemon, and that's okay. Because your starter isn't as needed as you think in this game overall. You don't need a starter, but it does help to have a good starter. Rock Tomb is actually not needed right now. It could come in handy later in the game if you want to decide to teach this move to somebody. So the Talos poison, I thought it was the other way around. Anyway, let's go ahead and get this item. No antidotes anywhere though. Alright, so you're gonna come in here. The Whismur is actually good against Watson. That's what that's for. Believe it or not, Whismur has a ability called Soundproof that stops the opponent from. They're basically immune to all sound-based attacks, and then Magnemites and the electric Pokemon, they like using sound-based attacks, and so it actually stops them from using those normal attacks, like Sonic Boom. It would prevent it from using Sonic Boom and other sound-based moves, which you would read the descriptions of the moves. They tell you if they were sound-based moves. And so that's the funny thing about them putting the Whismur right here is them giving you a chance to have a like a secondary option against fighting Watson. And that's the funny thing about it is there's so many little small things that they put in here to make certain things easy because the Whismur is terrible against the second gem, but if you continue to level that Whismur up until you got to the third gem, Whismur actually can be a very good defensive wall for some of the electric Pokemon that Watson has over there in that gym. So that was just another interesting observation I found from playing the game multiple times. And so we're gonna go ahead and give our Pokemon a potion here just because we don't have the antidote and we need them to fight a little bit more before we go back to the Pokemon Center and heal. I think there's like 2 to 3 more fights in this area, then we can run back to the Pokemon Center and heal. And these shouldn't take a whole lot of hits to get through. So yeah, we hit the super effective attack. Lombre uses Swift because of the environment that we're in. The Oran Berry restores our health, so we're gonna let, yeah, Taylor's gonna clean up there. We're using Swift again. That actually does a lot of damage, and then they come out with a Puchaina, which is weak to dark and I mean to fighting. We haven't quite learned a fighting type attack yet, but that was for fighting right there. So I'm not sure which Pokemon they were expecting you to get by this time that would have learned a fighting type move, but usually there is a Pokemon that is in the game at this point in the time that you could have caught that would have learned a fighting type attack. And that's what I find fascinating about understanding these things in the game now, once I'm older, when it just would have been funny if I would have understood this stuff before. So yeah, Lotad here actually has a strong matchup against both of these Pokemon. I mean, the Lombre. But we are able to get through that one hit on both Pokemon because my levels are so high now. And as you see, I haven't grinded any levels. I'm literally just fighting trainers. So that's the funny thing about it is when I played through the game as a kid, I was thinking I had to grind through levels so I'd be ready for the next area. And through this playthrough, you're going to barely see any grinding levels to be ready for the next area. So it kind of, if you had that perception like I did as a kid, watching me play through it now, maybe you may be surprised to be like, oh wow, this game isn't as grindy as I thought. Most of Pokemon is not really that grindy. If you stick with the same Pokemon in your party, most people what we do is we catch new Pokemon and then you want to try them out, and then you got to level that Pokemon up as well to keep it up with your party. And those are the types of things that make it slow down and get turned into a grind because we want to try the variety of the Pokemon we're getting. We want to try something new. You find something interesting. But in this playthrough, I'm really just trying to go and use Pokemon that I think will be beneficial to the run that I'm going through as far as just completing the story. And that was the reason that I found all this stuff out is because I literally just said, what if I just try to get through the game with the Pokemon they put in front of me and not grind? Like, what if they put out other strategies in the game to make it easier for yourself? And then I started finding out many different ways or many different things in the game that made that true. That they did put many different Pokemon and strategies in the game for you to get through the story very easily. So we got May here, our rival battle. I keep forgetting about her, but yeah, we're gonna fight her, and she's gonna get wiped out really quick. Since we have the flying type, yeah, our flying type here is just gonna, or Torkoal. Oh, well, I guess if my low Lombre had the water gun by now, it takes a while for Lombre to get the water gun. This thing taking a lot of attacks too. At least it's not doing anything. I forgot about the Torkoal. Alright, so Taylor grew to 16, and I don't think this thing goes evolution until like 20, 22. So we'll have to wait a second before we get our Taylor up there. Alright, cool. So Trainer May got defeated. As you can see, it wasn't that hard. Alright, so now we gotta go. Um, there was a move up here. I forgot what I missed. I missed this before I went to the gym battle. Ah, it's an X defend. Okay. And there's the area we gotta use cut. Okay. All right. That was the X accuracy. And so here, there's another move here in case you wanted it. I wish this wasn't behind a cut, to be honest. The Miracle Seed. So now that makes your absorb with Lotad or Lombre a lot stronger. But I feel like they should have given that to you before the first gym battle, not after, because you had to learn cut to be able to use. I mean, you had to get the first gym badge to use cut outside of battle. So yeah, you could give Lombre the seed so that way you don't forget when you get into fights later. And I forgot to stock up on a few more potions, and that's okay. We may not need them like that because it looks like our levels are in a good spot. But as you can see, I haven't really been playing that long. What I've been playing for, oh, this is like 43 minutes. Yeah, it's been playing for 43 minutes so far. And yeah, we're gonna go ahead and get through to the second gym.